Welcome, Don. Hello, Cindy. Cheers, Cindy. Why don't you hop in, Sin, and join us? That was a cool fountain in the mall. Airport. Like a port, but for airplanes. I told you that Europe and France and Spain will be having wild weather. Well, that was Spain. Murcia, Spain, June 13th, 2024. All right. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. I am a man of my word. So let's get started here. And while we're loading up here, first off, I'd like to thank you guys for taking a moment of your precious time to be here with this precious family. Okay? And when I say your precious time is fleeting now. Okay? Every moment counts now. You guys are realizing this now. So your time is precious. So spending time here with me is precious to me as well as to you. We are this precious family, aren't we? Okay, so here we go. Starting off with our solar report, if I can get the mouse to work here. All right, June 13th, 2024, 61324. 324, 1324. I'm telling you, them numbers. If you only knew about that date, what it meant. Okay, so as you can see, we had some activity today. We got this little planet moving through in the background. Don't mind that, okay? You can see little ones moving through all around here, and then our main little event here. And we'll pause it on the opening frame, go through it frame by frame like we always do. And once you guys get all curled up and comfy, look, it ends at 1824. That's the last frame, so we didn't even get all the frames for today. But that's okay. Let's just proceed with what we got. All right, hang on, let me take a sip here. And a deep breath. And we can face it together. All right, opening frame, as you can see here, 024 of 6/13/24. Partial halo going on here in the background. You can see it registering on this side over here in this event, and then another small event coming off here. Appears that we might have a little small black object right in there with the line going across the, the middle of it, kind of hiding it a little bit. But let's just proceed. And something squirting out there. Okay, it's got a little V-shaped bow shock on the back of it. And it moves on out. Something going on up here. If you look over here, you can see the dark patch. Okay, that's what we're looking for, is the dark patch amongst all the light. Because usually light spreads out, right? And will fill in all the gaps, right? Like this diffused light area here. Okay, so when you see a dark patch, that's what we're looking at. And here's an object right here surrounded by plasma. And I think we might just take that frame right there. So bear with me for a sec as we zoom in. How is everybody doing tonight? You guys hanging tough in there. I see some soldiers that are prepared for spiritual warfare out there. They're actually doing it. That's amazing, isn't it? Okay. As you can see, our round, small, black spheroid object, plasma built up on the backside because its plasma is moving out faster than this object, so it dams up on the backside. Also, the magnetic field of these objects will latch on to plasma. Plasma is electrically charged. Electromagnetics attract each other, so an electromagnetic object would attract plasma. Okay, so you can see it right here. There's also some other... That might be the like a magnetic field around it, because that has a tendency to have, the objects in the middle of a bigger bubble, like its magnetic field. So let's back. Wait, no. I don't want to back out of that. I want to take a peek at the other side. Not like that. Like this. All right, because over here you can see our dark area around black dark patch. Okay, with light surrounding it. How come that light is in the shape of a perfect circle and it's not diffused into that black zone? If you guys understand how light works, it's telling a story right there. It's painting the object. These objects are black, they're dark, they're round, they absorb light. Okay, the only way you see light is when it reflects off of something and bounces into your eye. All right, if the sun didn't bounce off the ground and go into your eye, if the ground absorbed the light, you wouldn't be able to see the ground. Do you understand how that works? So when we're looking for these objects, everybody's looking for an illuminated round object like the planet that goes through the background, right? That's what everybody's expecting to see. Just like that little star thing that traveled through there, that's a planet, all right? That's what everybody's expecting to see, but they don't understand that these objects are dark. They're dark matter. They absorb light. So therefore, they don't reflect light. You can't see them, but they interact with the sun. Plasma drapes around them, painting our invisible target. And the magnetic field of these objects induce the CMEs. You can see when these things approach, they induce the CME, they cause the CME, and then as they move out, they pull a lot of the plasma, stretching it out along, pull it out with them and stretching it out like spaghettification effect. Okay, almost like a rubber band getting stretched out. What is wrong there? There we go. So we see the spaghettification effect that we knew happened in physics, but now we're actually getting visuals of the actual effect. They don't even know that's what they're looking at, I don't think. Something else going on right here, all right? And then it appears that it might have a couple of satellites attending it, or that's a different type of effect going on there. Of course, we can all see this one down here, all right? No need to point that one out, but this thing is a little different. Almost looks triangle shape a little. I'll let you be the judge of that. You should come over to this instrument, take a peek. And I will zoom in on this frame for you guys, but I'm not going to tell you that this is a giant black triangle. I'll let you be the judge of that, okay? Because some of the objects that interact with the sun aren't just these spheroids, okay? We've seen spiritual events happening with faces, and, we've seen some spiritual stuff going on, UFOs as well, interacting with the sun. So this triangle type structure, whatever it is, could be a craft. Maybe, maybe not. But just because we see it in one frame like that, I mean, it does have some continuity to it. I'm going to try to keep it as close as I can. But did you see how the way it moves? Here, let's go back a few. You see the wedge shape out in front of it, too. All right there's where I'm going to do something here. Do you see this like darker shadow wedge shape to this CME right here? That would be an effect you would see if there were a big giant triangular shape type structure there, okay? But do you notice we don't have a round bubble effect like we're used to seeing? Everything's always round with a round bubble effect. This one's pointed, and it maintains that for a minute. It maintains that structure for a second. Can I use the arrows here? Yeah, but screen jumps. All right, so it's hiding right in here. We go a frame forward. You can see it starting to emerge. Right there's a good shot of it. And it maintains this black triangle type shape, shadow, structure, whatever. I'll let you be the judge of that as well. Looks like there's something round back here behind it. Ooh, maybe if we do that. What? Oh, we got to go back a couple frames here, just real quick here. I don't know. You guys, what do you think? I'll let you leave your comments in the chat or in the comment section if you watch it later, but very interesting what we're seeing here. I'm going to take you guys even closer because I just seen something else. Look how nice and straight. It almost looks like it kind of tapers back here or something. I don't know. Just don't be surprised if you see a big black triangle in the skies in a couple of days, okay? No telling how long it takes that thing to get to the planet. But when we look at the Book of Miracles, okay, with the ancient paintings and stuff in it, there is a painting of cylinders and orbs having a battle in front of the sun, right? I'm sure you guys kind of know what I'm talking about. And in that painting, there's also a giant black triangle type ship hovering in the sky. So that was, somebody painted that because that's what they saw. All right. We'll pull that image up again someday also. But look, we have this perfectly round spheroid structure, a nice little triangle type structure right there. Okay. And we're going to continue on. We can come revisit that again later if we want. Nice round black one right there. See it? Okay, say goodbye to it. There's another one coming out. You can see the instrumentation reacting to it. Okay, so everybody's like, oh, Nibiru would show up like a shining little planet like this on a satellite, right? You would see it in the daytime sky. It would reflect light and you'd be able to see it, right? No, wrong. This thing passes by and nobody notices because it's black and it's dark. I can see when it passes because it leaves a dark patch in your blue sky. Your blue sky's all a uniform blue except for this big black circle, fuzzy black patch in your daytime sky. I dare you to go look up. There is a black patch, a dark patch in your blue sky. Okay? And that's what happens when these things pass by. They suck up the light in that area, leaving a dark patch, a fuzzy. It doesn't have the round, perfectly cookie cutter, symmetrical, spheroid circle shape. It's fuzzy around the edges because it's sucking light in from all directions, right? So it doesn't have a perfectly crisp, round edge to it. It's a fuzzy, dark patch in your sky. It's like a very darker, blackish blue patch in your daytime sky. Go check it out. I dare you. No, don't, because you're going to have a heart attack when you see it. Or at least say a couple prayers before you do it. Okay, so that's what everybody's expecting to see, is that something like this, right? Because that's what all other planets do, and that's how they behave and react. Well, not every stellar body out there in the universe is perfectly obeys the laws like we see here. There's other effects. Now, right here, there's something going on right there. And that's not perfectly round either. It looks to be like maybe the front face of it, and we're not seeing the whole. So you can see the front face of it. Part of it's got plasma running off the back side of it there. Okay, so as it passes, here's your front face of it, but the rest of the spheroid is back here in the plasma a little bit. Now, that's not obvious or anything. Whoops. Nothing going on there. That's a good shot right there. You can make out the whole, you can see it's a spherical object with part of it stuck inside some plasma. There seems to be another one there, and it looked like there was maybe a smaller one just in front right here. You see this bigger spheroid in the back, maybe a smaller one right in front of it, with another one right up here. Then we go to the next frame. You see him? See that one there? The middle one? It looks like there's one down here. All right, so there are other planetoid bodies out there interacting with our sun. Most of these are dark matter. They're stellar cores, the core of a burned out star or the core of a stripped planet. Okay, a planet that's been stripped right down to the core, and all that's left is the solid iron or nickel or whatever the core was made out of, the densest material that was left over after having most of it stripped away. Okay, so all these are all like dead cores that are rotating around a bigger dead core that's absorbing all these, and it's a star killer. These are all the remnants of the dead stars that it's killed. Okay, so that's a pretty big spread. All right, so let me pull back just a tad bit more, get the whole frame in there, and let the loop play one more time. Start it up. All right, so there's your solar little report for right now. Okay, we're still interacting with these objects and their satellites. Okay, they could be, we can talk about this other stuff later in the spiritual report, but there's another dimension possibility that these are physical small solar systems that are arriving, that are here. You just can't see them because they're in a different dimension. Their electromagnetic profile still interacts with the sun. We could be seeing something like that along those lines. Stellar cores, other dimensional, whatever's going on here is causing interactions with the sun. Okay, you can see them. They just don't behave like our normal planet type structures that we're used to seeing. Okay, and some of them aren't all these cores. Some of them are ships. I mean, we've seen UFOs and we've seen ones that were spinning and stuff that are clearly a disc shape with a spin rotation in it. We've seen plenty of stuff. All right, so it's not just the objects themselves. There are also ships that, well, for lack of a better term, ships or mechanical structure devices that accompany them. Now, think about something. If we're rotating around a star on a chunk of rock and we're alive, well, if there's other stars out there, they have chunks of rock rotating around them. That means they have the possibility for life as well. So what we could be seeing also is other systems interacting with our star and bringing their life forms with them, or their race along with them. They're all showing up here. I'm telling you, there's more going on than meets the eye. All right, so there's your solar report right there. Now let's get over here to Solar Ham. You saw the fireworks. Now let's see the ingredients. Bingo. Come on, baby. What's going on? All right. Let's just zoom on in for you guys real quick. All right. So, is that working? Okay, good. There it goes. All right, so you can see here's our box for today, and you saw all our activity. Our main spike right here, M class, maybe 2 point something, whatever. And then just recently, we just had another small M class going down, already receding from it, going into tomorrow. Should we take a peek at this? No, you don't want to? Well, we're going to anyway. So let's come back here, give a nice little refresh so we get every frame, and take a peek into the future. Ooh, look at this. We're missing some data too because that thing's jumping way too much. So here, let's take a peek here. Pause. So opening frame 1 of 7 here at 024. Okay, we have some kind of weird event going on over here. You can see very intense plasma coming out here, streaking out right here. That's our opening frame. Just oh, that looks like a disc right there. We're just talking about UFOs. Okay, here. Maybe that'll do it right there. You can see the round disc right here. It's interacting with the instrumentation is, giving a reading. I don't know. It could be a round structure. This is the shadow maybe behind it, but the way it moves. Here, let's put that into motion while it's moving. A little slower, please. Right there. All right. Now, we just saw a big triangle. Usually our round spherical type structures, their shadow image, the ghost image behind it. This looks more like a disc. Let me slow that down just a tad bit more. I know what I see. I'll let you guys be the judge of that as well. You can see the windows on the dome. We have company. And that is your that's your new activity that we saw on the, because this event is different, huh? It doesn't look like our regular stuff. That's why I was like, what's going on here? Yeah. You guys have seen a lot of stuff here. That's why I show you this and show you that, so you can have a trained eye as well and take a peek at what you're seeing. Oh, you know what? Let's take a little peek over on this side, shall we? Might sound weird, but oh, you see it right there? Oh, yeah. We gotta help me, Lord. Slow down, Brian. Breathe. Let's capture the frame first. So, oh, those 3 frames. That one will be the best. Okay, sorry, I have to just methodically go through it. You can see this eye-shaped structure crap. Oh, almost. Come here, you. Quit getting all fuzzy with me. You see this eye-shaped structure right there? Can we put that into motion now? We're going backwards. All right, now. Yeah, there's something going on right there. I think we have company, folks. Well, we've always had company, but guess what? You caught one interacting with the sun right there. Just when we saw a triangle-shaped structure coming out. Yeah, right. All right, so there's a UFO and there's a black diamond-shaped thing, or a triangle thing, I guess. I don't know. I'll let you guys be the judge of that as well, all right? Go check out the instrument. Don't just take my word for it. Go over there, play with the buttons, and see for yourself. Okay, so boom, we got another little event that happened right there, let's just say. Okay, now let's back out of that. Aren't you glad we went and checked? Okay, so where's my indices? Yo, yo. You see that? They took the indices out of there. I saw it just a little while ago. Where'd it go? Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anyways, our geomagnetic forecast for the next 3 days calls for all green. Okay. Note that in case something different happens. Okay. We have activity here and activity here, so some of that might come our way. We'll see here in the next little while. X flare potential down to 5. Proton vent almost over. M flare down to 35. When it's down to 35, our indices have probably dropped a little bit. Oh no, those are not the right ones. I want our solar flux indices that were right there. All right, so geomagnetic forecast pretty clear. Our two M players right here, M flares, were a 3.2 and a 2.4. Again, the 3, 2, 4. Came out of 13 and 3712. These are new numbers that we haven't heard of yet. So here's 3712 going beta gamma already. Let me pull out a little more for you. 3712 going beta gamma already. This other one was 3713. That's this one right there. So let's go check out 12 and 13, shall we? Coming up here, give me this thing nice and big. Oh, wait, that was big. All right, so 12 and 13. Here's our 12 region, okay, on the southern hemisphere in our strike zone. We are not on the ecliptic of the sun. We're a little south, okay? So that's in our range. The 12 and the 13, 13 growing right back behind it. Also, check out 3709 and 11 touching here, right in center disk, kind of. So this little spot has potential, and these are our other two players that just fired off. Up here's another one, 3716, with a blue and a red dot growing right there. So we'll watch this region, this one especially, and that one too. Even this too is not done. So I think, oh, wait, here we go. It's up here now. So our solar flux indices up here. See it? SFI right there. Is it 170? It's down a little bit. That's good. Our sunspot number is dropped 21 to 124. That's also good news. We don't care about our area right now. That'll come and play later. So our sunspot number has dropped by 21. Remember the other day it was up 61? That was, a little concerning when you see giant jumps in number count like that. It tells you that the sun can go from really quiet to a very active quickly and then right back to quiet. It's more volatile now, we'll say. Okay, so sunspot number good, dropping. SFI is still, actually, that's a little, it says down 40. What were we at before? 180 or 160? Anyways, that's good. I found them up there and we saw our sunspots. Let's move on. Next 3 days clear. D-layer absorption map. I got my own. I'll pull up in a minute. Let's just take a look at our KP real quick. Nice and quiet. All right. Nothing above 2 in a while, which is good. We don't need to be absorbing a bunch of energy. Okay. I'd like it nice and quiet like this for a while, but that's good for now. Okay. Good news to report for now. Now, coming down, you can see our auroras. They're, medium. They're mild. Not medium, but they're mild, 10% right now. Okay, so nothing too bad. It's not turning yellow. It looks like it is on my screen, but it's not. So, no geomagnetic activity, no storms coming right now or acting up right now. So, we'll look at no events logged. Okay. So let's get into our article here. Earth-facing solar activity during the past 24 hours was at moderate levels, with a number of minor C flares and one low-level M flare detected. A few more far-side coronal mass ejections were observed, including a faint halo. We saw that halo at the very beginning, remember? A faint halo CME just after 2300, and needless to say, the chances for noteworthy solar flares declined, with AR-97 moving further beyond the west limb. With that said, 3712 in the southeast quadrant has been slowly developing and will be monitored as it rotates into a better Earth-facing position. 3712 right there, and then there's the 13 as well. Open up this tracker because we're lacking some lacking. So let's start tracking. I just want to pull this up a little larger for us, Lord. Thank you. Go ahead, rotation. There we go. Okay. Another far side eruption, okay? This one doesn't cross our IMF line. Okay, so thankfully we're not going to have another extension or continuance of this proton storm event. Well, we'll see here. Okay, so note that this latest CME is moving away. It's even further backside angle now. Instead of kind of going this direction, the apex of the front of the bowl, or the front of the wave, see the very apex of it right there, was more up this way. It was more going this direction and had that clipping maybe of our IMF. This next one seems to be going a little more this way. Okay. And it's good to kind of note this. This is a top-down view of our, our inner solar system. All these are the satellites. Venus is in green over here. Okay, so it's passing behind the sun from our perspective. All right, we're looking at the sun. Venus is kind of back behind the sun. This other one is Mercury. Yeah, this right here, this little yellow one, Mercury. This round circle is Mercury. All right, and you can see it's going behind the sun from our perspective, and then coming out from behind right there. This red square represents stereo A. It used to be way over here. Now it's over here. Has a similar view that we usually get. All right, so stereo A and Soho pretty much have the same angle on the sun. It used to be a lot wider, and I could take that angle and put it in my math formula, and I could tell you what direction the object was going. But since they've moved that satellite, I can't measure that angle. It's too small with a protractor on the screen trying to get a real, it's not even close, and I need pretty accurate measurements. So it no longer works, but it's good enough that we still got it. Okay, so we got two perspectives from here. All right, backing out. I want to go back. Now we're going to come over here. Wait. We saw this one yesterday. Okay, remember I was telling you the proton storm, yet we didn't see any sparkles or any protons. All right. Now come on over here. And Arctic radios are working again. A solar radiation storm that has blocked Arctic shortwave radio propagation for the last 2 days is finally subsiding. The almost S1 category event was caused by an explosion on the far side of the sun. You might not think that would be possible, but certain locations on the sun's surface are connected to Earth via the magnetic Parker spiral. Yes, been telling you that before they even started talking about the spiral. But let's continue. Shortwave frequencies between 15 and 30 are now clear for over-the-pole communication. Over-the-pole communication. Venus is so close to the sun. Venus is emerging from a rare anti-transit of the sun. Now, during the first week of June, it passed directly behind the solar disk, rendering the planet invisible, even to SOHO's coronagraphs. Remember, I just showed you that on the spiral, okay? Less than 80 hours after it appeared, Bartos, oh boy, Wojnowski, Venus from La Palma, Spain. So here's Venus in the sky right there from La Palma, Spain. Little tiny insert right there. Okay. You can come over and read the rest of this article. Interesting stuff. But our radios, our over the pole communications, shortwave stuff, propagation has ended. We're going to show you the D region layer anyway. Load that up real quick. Okay, so there's your D region for, well, like the last 6 hours, I think. But look, we still have polar event. It kind of flashes on and off, right? It was there and then it kind of goes away, but whoop, it's back again. So it was there the whole time. It's just kind of missing data or what? I don't know. I'll let you be the judge of that as well. You can see our little block at the very bottom, cruising along down here. So we're not finished with the day yet. Let me go more like that. Oh, there we go. So it's getting red, orange, turning darker red as we get closer to the end. The end of this is our, closer to our time frame. So the very end would be current conditions. And boom, there's the end. There's your current conditions. It doesn't look like it's over to me. I don't know. I'll let you guys be the judge of that as well, but come back over here. Please pull this up. What is running in the background now? Lord, please grant me some serenity. Yeah, see their D layer absorption update right now. They're showing red too. Okay, so this D layer absorption event is still going. Okay, even though they're still getting propagation up there, that might have been when there was a little break and you saw it kind of flicker and go out and then come back. But there's the beginning. I'll let that play again. See, it's kind of yellow. You see your chart here. This is your intensity level, red being the highest, okay? And you see it fluctuating. It disappears. I don't know whether that's a glitch in data or if it stopped and there was a new wave that hit and another wave, but that looks more like just missing data because when it recuperates, it's not slow. It goes right back to where it was before. So all we're really seeing is just a couple frames of missing data right there. But then it starts to see, there was our little flare event. And then all of a sudden it starts to glow intensely again. And here we are coming close to the end to our current conditions. Bingo. Whoop. Current conditions. So whatever's happening on the sun is affecting our D layer absorption. And what am I a stickler for at this channel? That's right. And it's for a reason, because this absorbs down into the core of the planet. The core heats up, it swells. The core is made out of metal. When you heat up a metal spheroid, it will swell and expand in circumference in every direction. It will expand in size in every direction. I don't know if any of you had a basic physics, general physics in high school or whatever, where they took a metal ball on a rod and they had a metal hoop on a rod, and the hoop was just like 1 millimeter bigger than the ball, and the ball would fit through the steel hoop, right? And then he would heat up the ball would expand, and he'd try to put it through the hoop again, but it wouldn't go because it had expanded that 1 millimeter, right? So we're talking about a metal ball inside of the planet, our core. When it heats up, when this radiation gets delivered down to the core heats up and swells. Well, that core is spinning inside of a shell or an outer core, however you want to call it. There is another region just outside the ball that the ball spins in. When that ball expands, it heats up that other region. That region wants to expand as well. And then we have problems. We have a lot of heat and expansion down below coming up from down below, stretching the skin of the surface of the planet like overcooking a hard-boiled egg. Eventually, all the egg inside will expand and crack the shell from the inside out. Capiche? Comprende? Catorce? Good. Let's move on. Okay. Here we are over at our upper jet stream, and we have had a. Do you guys notice any kind of change? I mean, do you pay attention at this channel? Here, I'm gonna leave it like that real quick. Whatever's going on right here, and this whole region now has caused everything else to change. Whatever's going on there. Now, I'm going to attempt to go in here. You see how all of this is like this loop all the way around this, oscillating up and down and up and down and up and down. All right. You see how it's doing that all the way around. Okay, we have a new configuration going on. Drastic change. Whether you notice it or not, I do, and it's weird. I mean, there's a drastic change in our upper jet stream patterns right now. Okay, it could be because of our company. It could be because of a passing electromagnetic field, like say from a passing object. All right. All right, so upper jet stream, pull this down. This big gyre up here is taking stuff out of the Arctic, bringing it down, slamming it up against the northwest coast here. We have warmer air that's coming out of the southern Pacific, rotating up, mixing with this air. This whole region is our hot cocktail mix, all right? It's a good thing this isn't just, really pinched off right there, because it would be the tighter this is pinched off, the more extreme, right? So it's good that these are open. There's this little gap right there, thankfully, because if these two were to pinch off, it's going to get very severe right through there. Okay. Now, that's your upper jet stream. Now, watch how it correlates. See, this is not your weather pattern, but it correlates. Now we're dropping down to your lower jet stream. You see the correlation now? You guys understand what the word correlation means, right? Good. So back to our correlation. We still have the gyre pumping moisture or cold air out of this region into this region. We also have this still pumping that, and they mix together in our cocktail zone. A doctor will take one drug that's the cure, and one that's a sedative, and he'll mix the two together in what they call a cocktail, and he'll give you the one injection of both mixed together. That's what I mean by the cocktail, not drinking, okay? Now, here we are down at our storm level. You see, we got these bigger storms out here. We were watching this one, and we had two of them. This one right here and this secondary one. All right, so right now, see how they're coming right up to the coast? And then look, it hits this wall and shoves weather down the coast. A little bit creep over this little ridge, and then gets into the, mildly into that region. But these two rotating things are still positioned pretty much kind of like they were before. Oh, he looks angry, doesn't he? He's smoking a cigarette that's Hawaii, like a cigarette coming out of his mouth. That's the islands of Hawaii. Can you see? Okay. On to seriousness now. because that is very serious if you know what you're looking at. Just kind of touring around, seeing if any other major storms going on. What's going on here? Yeah. A little something going on off of Madagascar forming there. But I'm just kind of looking for really powerful vortexes that are rotating, something different. Look at that. What? Well, that's weird. Because we got weather coming off the Atlantic. It hits the backside of the Andes Mountains, falls them down, and then goes back out. This center of rotation is taking the whole southern Pacific, or southern Atlantic, my bad. Southern Atlantic, and turning it into one big gyre, and it's causing severe weather that's going offshore off of South America back out into the ocean. So we have a little change up. Something has changed in our weather, in our upper jet stream pattern is causing weather to change in a way that's not normal. So there's your current weather thing. We will get to the forecast later, but right now I want to come over to where'd you go? Particulates to our sandstorms. Okay. Nobody really reporting on this anymore because it's just kind of lost the public interest. Never really had the public interest much in the first place, but we have giant sandstorms that are going on in North Africa that have been going on since November of last year, all through the winter, okay? Spewing huge amounts of sand out into the Atlantic. It gets all the way across. It's been depositing on South America for the last 4 months, 5 months, longer than that. But as we get swooped up here, it's getting up into the Caribbean. This flow is still taking it back out into the Atlantic. It hasn't really penetrated the Gulf yet, but sometimes it gets blown up and gets pulled up into our weather. Okay. Meanwhile, on this side, the smaller little ones are kind of just hit and miss. They dissipate a little bit. This one's not as powerful right now, so they've kind of. These other ones have died down. This one still raging hard. I mean, it's been going for a while. We need to come over to where are we going next, Lord? Oh yeah, to the chemicals. Did you guys catch the one on the CO2 last night that I did? You guys understand what CO2 is and how important that chemical is, that gas in our air? You can't just try to get rid of CO2. I mean, unless you want to not breathe. You could hold your breath for a really long time, I guess. Yeah. All right, so here we are. SO2. We got this country that's divided here. One side bleeding out. We got all this SO2 spewing out all this area. This area kind of pockmarked, little volcanic features, perforations in the crust. All right, pick your region. You can see we got some dark spots. It's kind of darkened up a little bit here. What happened to our, you know what? We need to get our, we didn't do the Schumann. Let's do the Schumann real quick, and we'll come back to that. Because it's important we see what's going on over here. All right, good. We got some good continuity. Just a tad bit of scraping, but it's at our frequency. All right, so our frequency is going kind of strong right now. All right, there's no other ones that are blocking it and doing anything. So the 7.83, that's our protection, is doing very well right now. So thankfully, we don't have any grinding going on. You can see there was a couple little clicks here where the core and the boundary touched. It's almost like your brakes squeaking. Your pads get worn out and they touch, and every once in a while you get a eat, whatever. But we're still kind of close. Anymore these days, it seems that the boundary that's between the core and the shell has tightened up. So any kind of inbound energy will cause effects right away. So that boundary is so tight now that, like I said before, you would have to have a good X flare, and then it would take a day and a half for it to really absorb down, and you wouldn't see effects on this until a couple of days later. But then that area tightened up from a couple of days to a day, and then from a day to 12 hours, and then from 12 hours to 6 hours. So when those time frames tighten up like that from a couple of days down to 6 hours, that tells me that that gap down there is tightening up. Okay, it's closing up. So we got good continuity right now, but we are kind of grinding just a tad bit. We're right at the verge. So there is still some pressure down there. Now, coming back over, we're looking at our pressure as it comes up through the ground, pushing SO2 out of the way. SO2 causing fires sometimes. I'll show you that once the fires really get going here. You'll see. Let's check South America while we're in this time zone. Okay, all these are all individual perforations in the crust going all the way down. Here's our fulcrum point. Bingo. Looking good. Whoops, didn't need to click on it. To scroll into it. There we go. So still good pressure in this region. This one's still getting dark. That one's still pretty dark. Our new one here, still good. I like to use the word continuity a lot. So because, well, there's a reason you'll understand later. Bad guys like to use this term, continuity of government. No. That's called continuity of criminality. Protecting their own asses. And don't be deceived. Don't think that it's all your governments are criminals. Anyways, here we are over at China. You can see very intense over here. They got their regions that are in black denoting the most intense. Okay, so eventually they're going to have problems because this shows you how many perforations are in the ground in China. The ground is loose. Okay, it's not tightly packed. It's tightly packed up in the Gobi Desert because that used to be a body of water that, all the weight of the water pressed the floor, the ocean or sea, compacted it and made that desert very dense. Once the water dried up, the remaining, floor of that ocean or sea is very packed and dense. But the surrounding regions over here is very porous, right? And it's letting out a bunch of gas. It's expelling their pressure so they don't have major earthquakes, but it's loosening up the ground as well. They're going to have sinkhole issues on a scale that's going to be, I don't want to talk about too much. It's going to be very disturbing when we see stuff on magnitude scale that will, unlike the Earth has ever seen before, just like it's foretold. Okay. Now, coming over here to Taiwan, we have our fulcrum point, our release valve. It's got little gas coming out of it too, so it's doing its job. Actually, look at this little spot at the southern part right there too. So we got three little vents right here at our fulcrum point, doing a good job of venting pressure in that area. Okay. Also, we have the island of Java. Now, can you tell the difference between what's going on in Java and the other islands? I mean, is it blatantly obvious in the coloration? The dark purple island of Java. And there's a lot of SO2 coming out of that area. That tells me a lot of pressure down below. Okay. We have had a buildup of pressure. Somehow we've absorbed a lot of energy. Our core and our outer core shell are heated up. They're expanding. And let me tell you something about that. I'll talk about the core or the shell that goes around it, the outer core. We'll talk about that here a little bit. Well, let me just explain real quick. When it tries to expand, it heats up. It's a metal type element as well that will heat up and expand when heated. Okay, so the core heats up then the outer core or shell heats up. But when the shell tries to expand outward, it can't very well because there's so much magma and pressure pushing down on it. And you got the crust locking it in. So that magma, unless it can come out through a vent, it won't let that outer core expand. So when that outer core can't expand outward, it will expand down inward, clamping down on the core. Now that core's got to keep spinning inside that shell. If the outer shell clamps down, as the core swells outward and the shell clamps down inward, they will lock up and your magnetic field will drop. Okay, it'll get very, very weak. There will be magnetic remnants still in the metals and the alloys in the crust and in the core itself. Will still have a weak magnetic field, but it won't be the dynamo generated strong. We already took down this human. Oh, strong, vibrant line. It would be weak like this or barely even there. Okay. And when that happens, we don't even need a solar flare to have a geomagnetic storm. All right. When the field is weak right here, not glowing nice and green, that little dynamo's spinning away here. It's just going and producing this beautiful magnetic field. Then the two start to grind on each other and clamp down, and that field gets weak. Okay, and that's when we get our higher G, they predicted a G1 and it ends up being a G3. Well, how could it be a G3? It barely clipped us. Well, it was because the field was weak that day or at the moment of impact. Okay. Back. What do I have? Okay, so we have a lot of pressure. Rarely do we see Java this dark. Okay, so I used to have this little scale of 1 to 10. We kind of would say something around here would be a 7 or possibly a little bit higher than a 7. Okay, most of the time we see coloration like this, and I would say it's a 5 or a 6, right? About halfway. We got half pressure gas coming out. It could be totally dark or it could be totally gone. This would be 5. If if this was 10 and this was 0, this would be 5, right? So, but this isn't 10. That is, or that's 10 right there. All right, blackness. So I would say that's about a 7. If that's 5, 0, 5, 7, 10. Get it? Got it? Good. So we're at about a 7, and maybe even a little bit higher. That whole island is just spewing a lot of SO2. Okay, tells me its relief valve is doing a lot of relieving. There's a lot of flow going through there right now. Okay. All kinds of other regions are darkening up a little bit here. A lot of dark spots through there now. Europe kind of darkening up a little bit. All right. Got an eye full. Did you catch everything? Oops. What happened there? All right. Hey, Tristan's here. Howdy, Tristan. Welcome, bud. All right. Let's get it done. Got that part done. There's your SO2. And just every once in a while, I got to repeat this. Let's just go up here and pick out 4 tiny little dots. Oh, like these little ones right here. See this one and this little faint one and these little faint ones right here. There were 4 of those little faint ones on the coast of California one time, and I think it was BP Earthwatch or either him or Mr. MBB. Don't quote me. I'm pretty sure it was BP. Noticed 4 of them running down the coast here, and everybody in YouTube land went, "Oh my God, it's gonna be the big one." Well, then they went away, and everybody forgot about SO2 emissions. Well, now we had everybody freaked out. 4 dots. You can start freaking out now. No. Because we have the Lord at this channel, we don't have to freak out. But when this news breaks to the rest of this world and they figure out what's really going on, Yeah, you're gonna be like, I told you so. I knew it the whole time. Brian was showing me this stuff a long time ago. Okay, so SO2 emissions are high. That means pressure's high. I'm also going over here now to our ocean things, our surface temperature anomaly. See it down in the corner here? See surface temperature anomaly, SSTA. Okay. Sometimes your data isn't up to the day because this one takes a minute to process to get real readings or an accurate representation. Whew. This is looking a lot better, I would say, wouldn't you? That was getting one huge yellow bar right there. Let me pull up your colors. Yellow being more intense, okay? White being extreme. Black is neutral. This is cold. So neutral and warm to hot. So this whole area, had gone yellow and it's receding. Thankfully, we did have a new little release spot right up here off of Alaska, which will come in handy with our earthquake pressure coming through the area as it tries to travel up to apex here at this fulcrum point. It will diminish in pressure because this is like a leak in the tube, like your bicycle tube. So the air or the pressure that wants to come up right there is going to lose a lot right there. So, and I think that this has also kind of weakened this area. It could be that we are seeing increases in different regions now. Okay. Here on Alaska, you're not supposed to be having extremely hot water here on the coast of Alaska. All right, so something's going on volcanic underneath Alaska there. You can see around this region here something going on. We already have 4 volcanoes right here erupting. All right, so pressure comes up at this area, right? Volcanoes erupt, underwater heat plumes. Okay, so Japan still this massive plume in the white. Well, actually, it's kind of gone down to yellow. There's a little tinge of yellow right in this zone right in here. That's not fully white. That looks like it's may have decreased a little bit in intensity. Okay, here's Java. Okay, Java's doing its job. It has cold water inundation on the backside, right? Not Java, Taiwan. My bad. Slow down. Back to our fulcrum point here at Taiwan, cold water inundation because pressure gets relieved there and doesn't build up and making hot water, all around that spot. You can tell it's a relief valve doing its job. Okay, you come down to Java where we see our relief valve, cold water inundation. Even there's volcanic activity on these islands. These are the Lesser Sunda Islands. So we see cold water inundation in that region too because there's pressure being relieved there. It doesn't build up and start to heat up the ocean floor. Okay, now we need to address the problem. Okay, everybody take a nice deep breath. We're going to go in here. We have this hot water growing off the coast of Africa. All right, we're starting to see our yellow bar forming in this region now. It's mid-June. We still have the rest of June, 2 more weeks of June. Then we get into the month of July. July is a very hot month. Then we get into the month of August. August is going to be quite interesting, to say the least. Okay. If we are at this already, this early in the season, this is temperatures that we rarely see at the end of August and September. All right. It doesn't even get this hot usually by then. If we're already at this, it's going to be a very gnarly hurricane season for the Atlantic region. Okay. Also, I was showing you last night. I want some wind here. No, wind. Where's our? Yeah. Now, when hot water rises to the surface, it creates a vortex, right? This whole region is starting to rotate. If you follow storm chasers and when you see clouds start to initiate rotation, that's a sign that it's being induced by the weather, right? By the clouds. This rotation is starting to look like it's being induced by the water temperatures, doesn't it? I mean, just look how closely the water temperatures correlate with the wind patterns. If you knew what you were looking at, oh yeah, somebody just said it. I usually don't try to use that term, but yeah. This is what's going to happen. You're looking at the beginning of your one big hurricane out there. Imagine one big hurricane that just lashes this whole area and that whole area for the second half of summer. And I just showed you in the opening Spain getting pummeled because this hot water, all this is coming over, driving weather into this region. I'm telling you guys, the correlation of the wind patterns with the heat signatures should make you take pause. In fact, I got to take pause for a moment too because I gotta go. I wasn't expecting to see such a drastic, match this early. All right. In fact, we got to look away from this for a minute. Let's skip things and I'm gonna take a 10-second break here, say a special prayer. I gotta converse with the Father for a minute here. Why don't you guys take a little peek at our forecast here? I got our times and dates while this is running stuff. I'm gonna go say a special prayer. I'll be right back. Bear with me for 1 minute here. This is for your benefit, by the way. Okay, we're back. Sorry about the quick delay there, but at least you got to see the forecast a little bit. And look at this hurricane going up into Texas there in the future there. It's not going to be too good. All right, let's get back to our report here. So back at null school here, Oh boy, how am I going to have to put this? I'm going to have to talk to some weather people now. I might try to contact Reed because we got a serious situation going on here now. This is very dire. Okay, what's going to end up happening is you're going to see this is going to turn into one big vortex. Okay, let me explain something to you. You see your currents here? You see how hot water rising causes this vortex action? Hopefully it's not blinding the camera too much. All right. When you see this vortex action induced by heat, okay, it's following the heat pattern, okay? We come back over with winds, and these winds are correlating with the heat patterns over here too closely, especially this up here. You might see a vortex actually position itself with a central location here, and you will. Do I have to tell him that, Lord? Okay. All right. I'm not trying to scare you guys. Let's just be realistic here, okay? What I'm about to tell you could be very disturbing, so take a deep breath. If we get a central location of a rotation here, all right, you could see a conveyor belt that will take hurricane after hurricane after hurricane, one after another after another after another, all lined up and spaced evenly so they can, independently feed, and then they will just keep rotating around this conveyor belt. And there will be constant hurricanes going, there'll be 10 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And they'll all just be rotating around a conveyor belt of heat. I pray that I'm wrong, but these flow asymmetries, the where they're matching the heat signatures, is very disturbing. Okay, we'll move on. We got other stuff to cover, okay? Don't get all scared with that, because that's not the scary stuff. That's the romper room stuff, okay? Now let's get on over to our earthquake report. We're going to make you guys spiritually strong to where nothing will faze you or shake you. You will see it coming and you'll go, yep, I was ready. Now, deep quake region, here we go. 4.2 down at 559. Usually mid-range 4, that 4.2 is a little lower in magnitude. Over here, we have a 4.8. It's only at 147. It's not deep. This is residual from this, I believe. We come over here. We've got 5.1, so 5 energy. It's down at 131. It's not at the surface or on the boundary. So the deeper quake caused a sub-deep and then a shallower quake right there. Nothing further down. As we go up through the system, we have this little island right here that's spewing SO2. Let's go back real quick because I wanted to take a peek at that island. I forgot to take a peek at that island, you guys. Oh, yeah. So, here's Fiji, our deep quake region. Get those winds off of there real quick. All right. And this little long island right here has 2 good release valves, 2 good SO2 emission sites that are relieving pressure at this entry to our system. All right. So as soon as pressure comes in here, we got a hole in the bicycle tube that's letting air out of the tire already. So when the pressure gets up to a fulcrum point up here, it comes in at 4.5 at the surface instead of 5. That's good. I love that. All quiet through here. We have volcanic activity all over this region. Okay. In this deeper little rift zone or this deeper pocket area, A 4.8 on the boundary here, but it's down at 158. I believe this isn't a boundary quake. It seems to be an island just off the boundary. Okay, we have a volcanic island right here. You can see the flanks of it. You know, this is sticking up through the surface. It goes downhill to the ocean floor there. You can see the base of this volcano right here going up. And what's right here at the base? You're 4.8 down at 158. That's magma down there under the base of this volcano. This thing's coming to life over here. There's magma down there moving around. And as we go, look, volcano, all kinds of volcanoes run right along this plate boundary. Okay, so pressure pushing up didn't set anything off at the boundary. It actually, bubbled up underneath the volcano there. Now, as we continue, notice this region, lots of volcanoes in this area. This is Java, okay, all quiet there. But again, off the island of Sumatra, another quake here. Please. There we go. This is a 4.8 down at 62. Okay, so this isn't your surface quake. This isn't on the plate boundary. This is a mountain ridge. Okay, this is a big, deep valley, right? This red line is a really deep cut that goes way down deep into the ocean floor. Then this is a huge wall that comes up with a plateau area with mountains that stick up above the water on the edge of that plateau. All right, it goes back down into a little valley and rises back up and comes back out of the water. So if you removed all this water, this would be a valley down in there, right? 4.8 down in the valley, down at 62. That means there's pressure in this region that's coming up and it's hitting down in the bottom of the valley, trying to find its way to a path of least resistance. So our volcanoes in this region probably surged, okay, and it wasn't enough venting, so a quake popped off as well. Just kind of understand how that works. Cool. You guys are so clairvoyant here. Means you're able to grasp and understand stuff as well. It doesn't mean psychic all the time. 4.4 down at 110 here. We also have this region right here where we saw a big quake and a flurry. This is another potential weak zone, okay? 4.8 down at 60 right there at our weak spot. That shows you pressure has come up. It found the path of least resistance. This weak area that we talk about popped off a 4.8 right there. Also, just to the south of it was the 4.5 down at 110. See how it's relieving pressure right there? And there's your weak spot. Then it kind of crept up through here, didn't crack at the fulcrum point. It came over to here. This is almost like another little fulcrum point right here. Almost looks like one, but what's really going on here? The nice thing about this map is you can kind of see the underwater features and formations and stuff. You see this little island sticking up right here, just barely clearing the water. That's, whoops, right there's good. That's the top of the mountain, this whole mountain structure right there. At the base of that mountain down there is this 5.1 down at 29. That's almost the surface. Not almost the surface. It's a little bit deeper, but it's, not a deep quake. So 5-point energy in this region right here off of this little volcanic island. See this mountain range that runs underwater right here with volcanic islands right at the tip right here. It's almost like a fulcrum point. Bing. That's a path of least resistance. This is another area we're going to watch now, okay? Because that's a decent quake. 5.1 energy made it up to 29.9. That's a deep gouge in the underside of the crust. If you were to look from under the crust, look up at it, you would see a big deep gouge that goes up into it, and your quake is happening up in that area. So 4.8 down at 35. Still following this little path. Get that out of there. We come up to our region here at Japan where we have a lot of hot water. We have our underwater seamount spewing a lot of energy, releasing a lot of energy there. 4.3 right there. 79, 4.1 at 35, getting a little shallower. Come up to our fulcrum point, 4 volcanoes venting energy there, but I'm interested to see what's going on right here. 4.6 down at 235. This is not a volcanic feature. It's out in this big open plain. If you took all this water out of there, this would be just a vast flat plain. Down at 235. That is not the surface. That's energy down below this volcanic range. These are probably plugged up and not letting energy or SO2 vent. And you see a little burp down below because that's. We talked about diverse quakes, okay? Diverse quakes also mean stuff like this. All right. We're used to seeing activity in this region, okay? But what I mean by diverse is out in this flat plain, there are no fault systems and structure out there. Okay. So you would expect to see it along your boundary or your volcanic islands, not out here in this just silent region. Look, it's just flat. There's nothing there. So pressure came up in this region. It wasn't able to vent, either crack here along the plate boundary or vent through volcano. So some new little spot of weakness here, isn't it? It's a diverse quake, even though it's in a region that's, we do have quakes. Do you kind of see what I'm pointing out, though? Hopefully you grasp that concept. Now, as we get up here, it continues with your 4.6 at 86. We have 3.1 at 6 right there at the surface. Fulcrum point up here, 2.7 and 3.3. All right, now before we hop into the United States and I change to all magnitudes, let's finish up the rest. There's not much. Iran here had a 4.6 at the surface. Yep. Plate boundary. We got pressure ridges in the area. Let me show you pressure ridges. See how all this smashed together like this. All right. And you see all these little ridges build up. These are all small little mountain ranges, small little hill ranges and stuff. But as we back out, you can see how the pressure in that area has formed that range. And in the middle of that, we have this 4.6 down there. Your mid-range 4 energy has made it through to this. No fulcrum point quakes. Very quiet through that region. Very quiet in Europe. It's not good. We need to keep venting energy, especially when we get buildups. Now, Mid-Atlantic Ridge. Finally, we're having some quakes here. That's what do we do with 0.9s at this place? 5.9 Mid-Atlantic Ridge at the surface on the boundary. We're talking that's a 6. I'm not one to lie and deceive and change numbers. There's a reason why we do that. Call them right back on their stuff. 5.0 at the surface. That's a fulcrum point quake. You just don't know the fulcrum's pushing this way. Kind of. Okay, it's being pinched off here on the backside. It's not allowed to, there's no weak spot right around here. Your next weakest spot or path of least resistance, your foothill area, okay, is your weak zone because you got stable ground here. The mountain's pushed up. Well, your fracture zones, your weak zones running along the foothills. That's where you get your freshwater cold springs and your hot springs as well. Usually run along the foothills of a mountain range like that. And there's energy being released at the surface, 5.0 at the surface. Okay, there's your worldly stuff. Now let's get into America here. Oh, wait, take that down, please. Okay, so we had this energy that came in. Oh, excuse me. This is almost like it's new, separate, a deep quake source. You know, a deep quake source, Fiji, or deep quake source, and then stuff spreads out from there. Well, it's all pinched off here. New deep quake source, possibly, that pushes energy up into a fulcrum point here. You see it going, driving right up in there. It got, 1.8's up there, 2.7's. This is a 4.6 right there. Please. 3.16. Okay, we had energy apex, and then look right here inside the fulcrum point. Still a fulcrum point quake because it's on the inside of it. 1.7 doesn't give us a depth. It's probably pretty shallow. We have our little weak spot here that's been having small microquake flurry in that, diminishes energy as it travels down this way. Small little hole in the bicycle tube or tire, balloon, however you want to imagine it. It's just a good, three-dimensional physical representation to wrap your mind around things. All right, 1.3s. Now, here we are. Some activity at Rainier now. Okay, volcanoes, when pressure builds, magma moves around in the chambers down in there, and we get earthquake activity around the volcanoes. That shows you magma pressure built up. Okay. Nothing at St. Helens today because it was up here instead. Okay, 1.8 there. Let's come on down to the geysers. Our other relief valve. Okay. Check in here, make sure everything's doing fine. Yes, plenty of good little small microquakes. This is the activity we like to see because it vents a lot of energy in the form of small quakes that don't do a lot of damage and a lot of damage and kill people and stuff as well. Also, a nice thing about having this, as energy comes down from the Juan de Fuca, hits our fulcrum point and drives down these fault systems, all right? Systems. There are multiple faults that run parallel with the main fault, okay? So there are parallel fault systems. As energy comes crashing in here and tries to, push and pressure comes in, before it can reach the Bay Area, we got a relief valve. So just north, okay? Mind you, you could see a big quake go off here that would still rattle that region, but it's good that you have a relief valve right before it hits you, right before the pressure comes in, right? It will dampen the energy. Now, I've been watching this little fault system a little bit because we have seen activity on it. It's not big activity, but activity means that there's a path of least resistance. Here's a 2.9 at Milpitas, and that's at a depth of 5.2. Most of our surface quakes are 10, right? This is even half of that, all right? So very shallow quaking along these parallel faults that run through here, okay? They're relieving pressure. That's good. Okay, it's okay to have quaking in that region as long as it's on a small scale. We're all good. It's venting the energy. It's relieving the pressure. But 2.0 here, Mariposa. Our recent quake right here down at Tom's Place again, that's just south of Mammoth. I've been seeing heat plumes coming out of that every once in a while. Some more discrete, isolated thunderheads that don't move coming out of, because there's heat emanating from the ground. It's not a steam plume. It's a column of hot air that when wind goes over the Sierras, lifts up, gets cold, it hits that hot column, that one little smokestack of column of hot air, and then convects right around that hot air. That cold, moist air hits that hot air, and all of a sudden clouds just form over that one mountain and nothing else. You're like, uh-oh, what's going on there? So little microquake activities, all good. Looking down through here. I do a lot of investigating while reporting. Okay. Sometimes I don't get to look at all these instruments before I go live. We're just checking it out. We're now casting. So 2.8 at 15 here. Anything else going on there? Nah. Okay. Was hoping to see maybe a little flurry of other smaller quakes accompanying that. Pretty good. We want to kind of Oklahoma, Texas, everybody venting energy good. 2.2 there in Oklahoma. 2.2 there. We have a very, very similar pressure. All through these magnitudes are all very similar in magnitude and size and pressure. There's evenly distributed right through there. No weak spot activity along there, so that's good. Okay, so I think we are done with the earthquake report. Let's get rid of that, and we'll get rid of that. Keep this. All right, so come on, volcano report, please work tonight. Oh, we got waiting lines. Now, you see this column of ash, right? This is coming out of Ducono, I believe. Yeah, this is Ducono. See down here, barely in the frame, Ducono. So, we always talking and reporting about Ducono, yet we don't get to see very many pictures or clear blasts out of it, right? Okay, so here we go with a good shot of Ducono once I get it in frame and everything. My rinky-dink operation here. Basically out of a cell, prison cell type. Production here. All right, there we go. So now you see this column of ash. Imagine if there was no ash in this and it was just all hot air, okay? It's just air that's being emanating from a weak spot in the crust, right? So you would have an invisible column of hot air in this shape. Then when, say, cold, afternoon breeze comes up over the mountains and hits this hot invisible plume, it convects. And you will see a storm head, a thunderhead, in this shape. It looks like the volcano's going off, but it's cloud structure because of hot air. Pretty soon, it'll be steam that comes out, and it won't be a cloud that I'm recording. It'll actually be a real true steam column, okay? And then next will come an ash column, and then next will come lava, okay? So this is the similar structure that I'm talking about. A very, very tight, compact cauliflower structure. Thunderheads, when you get a lot of uplift, okay, they get their cauliflower type structure. The more uplift you got, the tighter, more defined the structure, okay? And if you have a volcanic hot plume, the structure of the cauliflower will be even tighter than your normal thunderhead, and you will look at it and go, wait a second. That one looks super, super dense and super, super tight and really, compact fluffiness. It's like you took, a package that holds 5 cotton balls and you shoved 100 cotton balls in it, and it just got super fluffy and came out the seams and started squirting out all the different areas and just over compacted, and it has to burst out. And so watch for plume structures like this over old volcanic sites, dormant volcanoes. It's not necessarily an eruption, it is a leak of hot air. All right, that's what I have been capturing. All right, and noticing down by Mammoth. All right, this is an ash plume out of Ducono. Okay, so let's hop on in here. IBU, IBU, if you only knew, 10,000 feet. Okay, Semeru, 15,000 feet. That's the maximum we've seen coming out of there. It used to be 14,000, and then it set a new personal record of 15. So pumping at max Semeru, East Java, that's our main relief valve. Is this volcano 15,000 foot blasts every day out of Semeru? Okay, it's got a good connection to down below. Understand what that? You know, when I say that, it has a good connection with the pressure region down below. Ducono, we just saw that plume, 8,000 feet. Okay, here we go. Popocatépetl in central Mexico. Explosive activity continues. Warned about a volcanic ash plume that rose up to 21,000 feet. This is a 21,000 foot huge plume of ash right next to Mexico City. Imagine how those people in that city are feeling when they look over every other day, and there's a bigger and bigger plume and a bigger plume, and the ground around you is always moving and rumbling. You get a little sense of uneasiness, okay? And for good reason. That's a dangerous, this thing's probably going to end up hurting a lot of people someday. 21,000 feet out of Popo, all right? It sounds like a bunch of numbers and just a name. Very important. Fuego, 15,000 feet. Reventador, 15,000 feet. Some of these are, like 7,000 and 8,000 usually, getting higher. Okay, 15,000 out of Reventador, and that's on the 14th, already going into today. So let's go into what was yesterday, or what was today, and is now yesterday. Okay, whatever. I don't have time to play games, you guys. This is not time to play games. Okay. Now, we on the right day here? 13th? Yes. Okay. So, Ibu, 23,000 feet. Remember we were just showing you 18 or something? Here's 23. That's a big blast. Luatobi, 10,000 feet. Can we get a picture of them? Cool big. What other ones we got? Nope. Back. Okay, Semeru, 15,000. Marapi, the other Merapi, but with an A on the island of Sumatra and not Java. Marapi, 14,000 feet. That's right across from that earthquake we were looking at, is this volcano. So pressure came into that region, set off a 14,000 foot blast out of Marapi, which wasn't enough because it set off an earthquake right next to it too. Okay, so energy got vented in that area, didn't it? Ducono, 8,000 feet. Here we go with Popocatépetl again, 20,000 feet. The other one said 21. They may have had two blasts, one at 20 and one at 21. Fuego, Songay, 22,000 feet. Okay, these are higher altitudes. We're no longer in the teens. We're in the 20s and mid-20s. Here's 25,000 out of Sabancaya. There it goes. All right. So 22,000 out of Sangay, 25 out of Sabancaya. Those are high altitudes. And that was it? Really? No lists or anything? Okay. Higher blast, a lot of pressure. We saw it. We saw it on the SO2. Okay. All right, let's do our forecast and get into the good stuff here. So catch this when it comes back around. You see this going on in Texas, right? Get used to it. This is our first little taste, I have a feeling. I pray I'm wrong. I don't like to be right about that stuff, and I'm not trying to fearmonger and scare you. I am trying to mentally prepare you for what is coming down the pike. So, current conditions, nighttime of the 13th. Let's get into the morning of the 14th. Nice and clear, little residual rain going through there. Florida's still getting swamped. This will be the noontime tomorrow. Watch out up there in Canada. convection tomorrow. Pop-ups here, foothills of the Rockies, okay? A lot of moisture brewing down here off of Florida, so everybody in Florida is still getting more moisture. Now we go into the nighttime tomorrow, okay? We saw convection along the foothills, then it blossoms at night. We have severe weather in this region, okay? It's not necessarily just that one yellow spot. You see this whole pocket of moisture, okay? Be aware of what's going on in your localities. No longer a game. I think you guys are seeing that how serious it is now. Morning of the 15th. Still, severe warning possibly in Nebraska, the middle of the plains there. Morning of the 15th. Noon, convection, nighttime. Again, with our nighttime activity here in Wisconsin, Minnesota, northern Dakota, up into Montana, up into Canada. That'll be the morning of the 16th, noon, convection, Canada, nighttime. So there's one night right there where we might dodge some severe weather. Going into the morning of the 17th, though, you see it blossom in the morning time. This is a different type of convection. This is no longer just the sun hitting the moist air, convecting, making thunderheads over the course of the day, where then when the sun lowers, you see the convectivity stop. This is different. These are cold and warm air masses colliding in the middle of the night or in the morning hours, convecting in the morning. Nighttime, morning of the 17th, noon, coming in here, Louisiana, everybody see this? Noon of the 17th, convection, nighttime. Severe here along the coastline, convection the 17th, severe up here at nighttime. This will be very interesting. Ow! Excuse me. Hang on. Okay, this is going to be very interesting to see what happens here. You're going to see severe weather with snow mixed in. So severe snow, thunder snow, possible in that incident right there. And that'll be the 19th or the nighttime of the 17th. This too, watch out for it. This could creep in a little deeper too. So during the course of the day on the 17th, stuff's brewing here, down here. It intensifies in convection. Then at nighttime, it goes ballistic. We go into the morning of the 18th. It continues. Oh, okay. This is going to be severe right in there. This, I don't know what to say about that. Watch out for tornadoes in Montana, Glacier National Park, deep snow, heavy snow. You might see large hail. Any kind of, you'll see a little mix of everything right in there. Okay, there. I'm telling what's going to happen with that. I don't. Ow, what are you showing me? Yeah. Okay, so let me back up. I'm sorry, I'm in a lot of pain. This is the nighttime of the 17th, your severe weather, your thunder snow in the morning of the 18th with your noontime severe pinch off right there. Then it releases by convection. Watch out coming up here. You see these millibars? Boom. Oh, this tail right here. So, convection, nighttime. Everybody in that nighttime region, watch out. That could get a little bit more than what they're showing right here. Because the way I saw that pinch off and everything's pinching me, that. So watch out, nighttime of the 18th, everybody. That's a little bit further out, okay? We have the Gulf Coast getting hit there too. Now, from this point on out, everything's going to be very volatile, not as predictable. So I'm just going to march through this. We're going the morning of the 19th, noon, convection, nighttime. All through Texas the whole day. Morning of the 20th, noon, convection, nighttime. Do you see how long severe weather was in that region? Let me back up. From the morning of the 19th until the night of the 20th. So a lot of moisture, severe weather in that Texas region there throughout the course of the 19th. Going into the morning of the 20th, there's noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 21st, noon, convection, nighttime. 22, noon, convection comes hurricane, convection hurricane on the 22nd. Okay, everybody, start preparing along the Gulf Coast. Florida, I would just, you should be out of there by now. Okay, you should have some smarts to start getting out of that region now. Okay, you see this hurricane already starting to form on June 22nd. Ow. A convection, it's even forming earlier down in the Gulf. You see it way down in the corner there. So it's got strength by the morning of the 22nd. Noon, it moves in. Convection, it's really rolling. Nighttime, it moves, fills the whole Gulf. Severe weather up there. Morning of the 23rd, noon. You see this onshore flow right here on the the noon of the 23rd. Convection will be nasty right there. Nighttime, 24th. Very dangerous right there. Noon, convection, no. Nighttime, no. You guys see what's going on right here, right? And this is our first taste. That's the nighttime of the 24th. Morning of the 25th. Noon. Convection. Nighttime. Morning of the 26th. Noon. Convection. Nighttime. The longer that thing just sits out there, it just keeps rotating stuff in. It's not making landfall. We saw that on the East Coast over here in North Carolina, where it just sat for a while and continued to pour stuff in one region over the course of a long period of time. Instead of making landfall, it just sat there and like garden hosed it instead. This is the morning of the 27th. Noon, convection, nighttime. If you are not out of Texas by this time, you're not paying attention. Morning of the 28th, noon, convection, nighttime. 29th, noon, convection, nighttime. Even though this thing weakens and dissipates all the moisture that it brings with it. See all that moisture that it's bringing with it? Okay, it's finally out of the screen. Here it comes. It enters the screen right here. It's got all this water with it, and I'm just going to bolt through this. I just want you to watch the water, not the dates or times. Just watch how much water comes in with this and how long it lasts. Look. Is it plain as day what regions to evacuate and get out of? Yep, once that process starts right there, it's on. And then this thing comes barreling in and just... Oh my God. Florida is just, it's not going to be there. It's just going to be underwater. That is amazing. Okay, so a lot of this stuff that we're looking at is, you know, out into the future, but we are definitely going to see some kind of, hurricane activity go into the Gulf there. And, we'll see changes, but it does bring a lot of moisture into a region that is already suffering. And if that moves and makes landfall and goes through Dallas, you saw what happened to Houston, right? And that wasn't even a hurricane. All right. Ow. So our next 48 to 72 hours right here, not too bad. Okay. So tomorrow morning, all through the day, a little bit severe by nighttime, but then it dissipates. Well, kind of a little bit in the morning, but the 15th is pretty not too bad. There's the nighttime of the 15th, but then after that, there's the 16th. It looks pretty clear. 17th. And anything kind of after this is a little far out to it'll change, but definitely Texas. Everybody in Texas, everybody in Florida, everybody in the Gulf Coast. You see this? You see this creep up the edge there? Let me. Oh, you bastard! Go back. I don't want autographs right now. I want the. Ow. Bear with me here for a second. I was almost done too. Show me the map down South America. They don't have a map down in South America. You have to access your own South America information. Okay. Gulf Coast region in Florida. Florida's already got too much water, right? So you add all this to it, it's just going to be a mere sandbar. Then what I was trying to point out, this moisture right here, see it creeping up the East Coast up in South Carolina? See that severe right there? There's almost rotation going back on shore right there. So the whole East Coast is that runs the coastline there. See that? We'll have to watch that around that time frame too. All right, that's enough of that. Now let me get some of these instruments pulled down, and we'll get to our spiritual report. So we got a few people here. Time to face it. Yeah, because we were talking, and somebody mentioned the giant face next to the moon, and I was like, kind of funny you mentioned that. It's my face. And I'm like, yeah, right. And I said, yeah, always, it sounds too good to be true, so we're going to face it, and I'll show you my face tonight, okay? So, for those of you with weak hearts, you're about to see my real face, not just on the screen here. I'm going to reverse the camera, okay? In a minute here, like partway through our reading and stuff, okay? But this is the face that was captured out by the moon, okay? It's a younger, it's me when I was maybe in my mid-20s, okay? I recognize my own face. Everybody's got to look in the mirror. There are features about my face that spread across humanity, and I see characteristics of my face in other people's faces, right? So when I recognize the characteristics in my face in other people's faces, I can surely recognize the characteristics of my whole entire face. Okay. And what's disturbing about this is, all this stuff started happening to me. I explained a lot of it last night. Okay, we went through the dot-to-dot process, kind of showing you the evolution of how this progressed and started happening to me, okay? They were asking, how could this possibly be you when you're here alive on Earth? Well, through through a process of belief, prayer, endurance of pain while still smiling, I have achieved a spiritual accomplishment in the spiritual realm where no one else has. Okay? And I can be in the spiritual realm and be in the physical at the same time, just like we do at this show with the readings. You are in the spiritual and the physical, 1 foot in one, 1 foot in the other. Okay? And in a minute here, we'll show my face and stuff, and we'll get that process. Most of you have seen me already, but most of my loyal people have. It's not that big a deal. I'm just a normal guy. But when some people that are afraid of me see my face, for sure, it could induce a heart attack. Okay, so for people that are afraid of me, I suggest you don't watch any longer. For those of you who love me, you're free to hang out and get comfy and see me smile, okay? But that's why I don't show my face very often, because there are ramifications in the spiritual realm for my enemies, okay? My enemies that are coming up against me. And they know I'm here, and when they see me, my real life face, it could do some damage, okay? Not to you guys. You are all my family and my friends, so you'll be happy to see my face. You'll be happy to see your teacher, right? Coming through the door to the rescue while all the rest of the class is, well, screwing off. So where are we going from here, Lord? We got that. What? Oh, we're holding that in a holding pattern. Okay, that can now be changed. Let me pull down a lot of this. We're going to pull up some imagery, so just be patient here, okay? Because it's so fantastical that it's like I can't tell you. I have to show you. So we got that. Let's go to the actual video, okay? Most of you here have seen this a couple of times, but it's good that you guys refresh your memory. There are little things that you'll catch every once in a while that you didn't catch before. Like this man's narration, not James here, but the gentleman who took the video. He explains how he's seen this before. He went out and spent some money on a very good camera, got himself a better quality camera, not a cell phone, a high quality camera with an auto zoom, not auto zoom, but a manual zoom. You can hear the mechanical zoom as he zooms in on this object. If this were a face in the clouds, like I show you, you wouldn't have to zoom in. You'd just be able to point and click. But this is way, way out there. Okay, this is not in the clouds. This is right next to the moon, and the moon is actually illuminating the face. So let's get the video real quick here. If we can't.
There it is. Let's see if I can get a better picture to catch this thing in the sky.
Wait.
And holy moly.
Have you seen that face on the moon?
All right.
And I'm like, what?
I am
on the moon? Never seen a face on the moon or something like that. So I started investigating, going after this face on the moon thing. I think I misunderstood it in the beginning. But then I found the video and I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? So let's just check this out. Let's take a look at this. So,
it is February 28th, 29th. I have got
February 29th is leap day. Okay, only happens once every 4 years. February 28th, this is February 29th. Note the date. Only happens once every 4 years.
Camera to catch this thing in the sky. And holy moly, I am scared. I'm scared, but I'm not going to try.
Wait, sorry.
29th, 28th, 29th, I have got me a better quality camera to catch this thing in the sky. And holy moly, I am scared. I'm scared, but I'm not going to trip because I've been catching this thing for a while now. It's very ominous.
Yeah,
There he is.
Screen or something?
There he is. There he is. There he is. It's a huge face.
What is that?
Looking right down on us. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit brighter. There he is. There's the moon. Oh, I lost it. There it is. Let's see if I can get a better picture on the moon like it's supposed to. Is my hand in front of the thing or something?
Yep, the time, 1:11.
Here we go. There it is.
Look at that.
Yep, there it is. There it is.
What is that?
That's me, James.
There it is. It is February.
Okay, so we
28th.
got.
Okay, so there's the video right there. It's important that you guys hear this man's testimony. I am a stickler for testimony. I can hear inflection in people's voice when they're lying. I also read body language, okay? Something that you don't know is I inserted body language into you so I can read your body language while you're talking to me and tell whether you're lying or not, okay? Because your body speaks of volumes more than your tongue does, okay? So I listen for inflection. I read body language, okay? And the testimony tells me this man is telling the truth. He has a real experience. You see the eyewitnesses. There is more video than just this. Now, also the timestamp I want you to note. February 29th of 2024 at 1:11 a.m. On my clock, it's 1:26 right now, okay? So right about now is when I do the reading. Do my reading of my notes, right? We do the spiritual report. And while I'm doing that, I am looking down at my notes with a book light shining on my head, okay? And it's shining down on my notes down here, shining, illuminating part of my face, and the other half is kind of in shadow, all right? And that happened while I was live reading to you guys. That time frame was while I was reading. The light was on my face at this moment. The moment he captured this is while I was reading to you guys at this point of the show. Okay? Now, some other little things we're going to do here first as well. Now I'm a little older. Okay. This is my face kind of when I was a little bit younger, so I'm going to get you a picture here of me around that time frame. Okay. That's my nose and my face and my eyebrows and my head, my hairline. That's me right there. Okay. And then when I turn the camera around tonight during some of the readings, I'll have the light shining on me. It's very similar to that picture right there. And while we're usually doing readings to this face, we will start doing readings to my real live face. You are about to meet me face to face in the air. Soon, you will meet me face to face in person. I will come up and give you a hug. Okay, here's another quick picture real quick. This is more when I was a teenager, my senior portrait type picture. All right. That's my face. And it's been showing up in the clouds, the crown, all kinds of stuff been happening. So I'm already used to seeing my face showing up in the sky all over the place, right? Well, now it shows up next to the moon. Well, no surprise. It's just my face again showing up in a different spot. Okay. And I'm not trying to be all boisterous and no, this is me, blah, blah, blah. I'm taking credit. No. This is something totally different. This is for your benefit, not mine. Okay, now, what else are we doing, Lord? You're taking me somewhere too? Oh, we didn't even have one message pulled aside yet. So what we're gonna do is, what I want to do is take you to this part of this video real quick, because there's more than what was on the other video. That was just part of it. See, they're trying to copy me. Okay, cool.
Ice in the last 3 weeks. Multiple people, and from what I understand, have done some modifications. 21st, 2023, 1:45 a.m.
He's got the wrong
They
time
went
stamp.
inside, got people to come outside. You can tell they were walking outside, half tired, looking up into the sky. Murray Calloway out of Kentucky. And then something about and
Everybody's out here.
that right here. Here, let me listen to what he says.
It's a face. Everybody's out here.
It's a 1:45.
Everybody's out here looking. We're coming out here to see. But I gotta get this. Y'all see that?
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Now, hold up. Let me zoom so everybody can see it. Nice. Zoom on it. Hey, y'all need to call somebody. Yeah. Tell them we're out here, what we're looking at. Now, y'all see this. You see it, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there it is. That's a nice,
Woke him up.
crispy face. Hey, somebody got another phone? I don't want to be the only one recording this.
Start recording this, Roger.
Yeah, you gotta get this, we're all out here. We're just out here looking. There's a dog, even the dog's tripping. There it is.
Okay, this is the original video. Again, goes.
Okay. Now, oh, it's fine. Where was the improved image? Nice and clear one. Also, during it, you can see here in the little pop-up, the eye opens up and actually looks down at him for a minute. So it doesn't just sit there still, stagnant in the sky. The eye actually opens up during the process and looks at him. Not many people notice that part because they don't know what to look for quite yet. But you guys will. All right. So I don't see anybody else out there understanding what's going on that can explain this, that recognizes this face. There's only one person I know out there in YouTube land that has all this stuff who recognizes his own face out by the moon. And if that is the case, that makes you guys a very special audience, doesn't it? I want you to wrap your mind around that. How special you guys are. You are the chosen. You're here with me right now. You're caught up with me by the moon. You're caught up with me in the clouds. You're caught up with the show. You're caught up with all the information, all the knowledge, these new ways of thinking and looking at things and salvaging your day, and all this new stuff that we're actually doing together, aren't we? See, we're getting to know me. I already know you, but we're getting to know me because you got to build a relationship with me. It's not a religion. It's about the relationship. That will make you feel so much better knowing that you are on the winning side, that the good guy is here now. The teacher is back from the class chaos, right? So how am I going to do this properly, Lord? I'm trying to position camera, and I got a certain way everything's set up when I do the show. And now I got to turn the camera around and reverse all this to put the camera on me. Most people run their show with their face in the screen the whole time, right? Me, I'm kind of a shy guy. I don't like my face, in the corner like Mr. MBB here, or, most channels are just their face all the time talking, right? They don't show anything. They just show their face. Me, I'm kind of a shy guy. I hide my face, but it's coming out all around, so I better just go ahead and show you guys. So we got that one. Also, I want to pull up some other imagery for our reading tonight as well. So bear with me for a second here. I want our good old regular. What? Oh, you want them to? I might have to look that one up, because that was an old bookmarks, Lord. Okay, we get this one pulled up. Okay, important you guys understand this one. That's your foundation right there. This real event happened on Easter. Okay, Jesus shows up in the clouds on Easter and turns into a lion wearing a crown. Okay, 2,000-year-old prophecy came true. Not on, middle of September, not on a hot July day. No, it happened on Easter. That should scream volumes. The Revelation 12 star alignment should scream volumes too. This is what everybody has been looking for. You look up, you see this happening, you see the signs. Look up, you'll see me coming in the clouds. Well, this is me in the clouds. This is my face again in the clouds, turning into a lion face. All right, so you are caught up with me in the clouds. That's what it says in the Bible. It doesn't say the word rapture in the Bible anywhere. That word rapture does not exist. Man made up that concept because they misconstrued what they read. They didn't bother to go look up what it really means. Caught up. For years, everybody's like, well, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does caught up mean? What, are you kidding me? You've never been caught up in a book? You've never been caught up in a song? You've never been caught up in a movie, or caught up in a good YouTube live stream, or caught up in the chat room? You've never been caught up with a nice sunny day? You've never been caught up? You're caught up in everything all the time. No matter what it is, you're caught up in something, isn't it? Oh, whoops, you're aware of something, you're caught up in it. Yeah, that's what it means. It does not mean levitate. Where in the Bible does it say you will levitate and just rise up off the ground, turn into a white spheroid of light, and then ascend and everybody will look up in shock? It does not say that in the Bible at all. Okay? When it says one will remain in the field and one will be taken, I will explain that here in the next couple episodes as well, because that has been mistaken as well. But for the meantime, I have setup to do. So we got that picture. We got my face. I need notes, all separated, sorted, in place. I got to set up a background because I'm in a, I want you guys to see my padded cell. Make it look more like the hall closet that I live in. All right. Wait. I need that note. Yes. And what others? Yeah. Okay. So there's that set. Okay. What is gonna be the background? No, that can't be the background. I don't know. I'm getting a little ADD about this. So, yeah, I got a lot of faces in the clouds here. You know what? We'll put on a little video while I'm doing some setup here. Let's go pop open my channel here real quick. We'll do, let's see. I left off at, Should we do the birthmark? You guys want to see the birthmark again? Do you understand what that means? That I have birthmark indicating I died in a previous life being stabbed in the side? And no, I'm not going to go. Oh, look at this. Who is God? Part 2. Right here. Over here. Everybody looking around. It's too bad you can't trust me. I'm right here. Quit looking now. It's blatantly obvious, but I guess if you don't trust me, you wouldn't recognize it. You wouldn't have eyes to see, ears to hear. You wouldn't know that it's about judge a character, and you guys are learning my character. And I was coming over to do that one. What we're gonna do? We're gonna do this one. All right, faces in the clouds real quick here. While I do my backup. I did a bunch of shorts. Here, let's do that one real quick.
Giant faces in the clouds. This one growls and spits lightning.
That didn't turn out very well. Here, let's go back to the video. Where's my video? Those all start with G. I want the actual video. Where to go? There. Okay, messing with my channel or something? There it is.
Defined, more and more clear. Okay, so as we scroll down, it's getting, more and more defined here.
It's the Grinch
then,
turning into
this
is a terrible video.
The Grinch starts to grow horns here. You can see in some of these pictures here. I'll go down.
Oh, that's terrible quality. Never mind.
Go. You can see here that the Grinch is.
Go right to this again. See all of these? This is all the same event. It finally progressed and turned into almost like a dragon type head, went through different phases and stuff. Okay, so all kinds of weird stuff to look at. And as I stacked the pictures, I'm not very good at computers and stuff, so I had to use, this Google, their little, however they do their picture process here. They offer a thing where you can do an animation and take all of your images and stack them on top of each other. For instance, right there, the wolf turning into the demon head right there, or Satan head right there. Okay, so that one was 4 pictures over the course of maybe 5 to 6 minutes, and it's the wolf huffing and puffing, blowing the house down. See, what you don't know is your weather, it's controlled by the spiritual realm. Okay? Isn't it? I don't know. Ask yourself, how's the weather really controlled? You thought it worked this way and that way and all this other stuff, and little did you know, it's not man that's manipulating the weather. It's God. Now if I can get my notes cell. And then we'll rotate the camera and you guys will get to see my mug. If I can get this pulled down and out of the way. All right. Come on now. Now I'll try to get positioned to where the camera is going to see me. And you're going to get to see my face while I'm reading to you. And see, is that going to be far enough back? Because the camera on this side is going to point. Where is it on this side? Oh, right there. Okay, I see. So it'll point at me right about here. And I can put notes right there. Yeah, I wasn't planning on really doing this, so a little on the fly. Always something new. Always trying to do something new and different. I guess it'll just work like that. Okay, so you seeing that? Let's get this one playing here. This guy giving you the eyebrows. Can you see the goblin dude? That's like the character from the little character that sat on Jabba's lap. That's what it reminds me of. And then we had where's the one? This one's pretty cool. Here we go. I think it's that one. It's a little bit better. All right, so these faces and these characters, all kinds of stuff form in the clouds everywhere I go. UFOs following me, all kinds of crazy events happening in the sky everywhere I go. And what's weird is nobody notices. Nope. They're so buried in their cell phone, they wouldn't even. A dragon could swoop down and grab them by their shoulders and fly away, and they wouldn't even see it coming. All right, all kinds of weird stuff going on in your skies. If you just look up. This is the Tom and Jerry type thing with this little mouse, I guess, pulling this guy's eyelids open. This goofy character with the nose and the ears. He's pulling his eyelids open, making him see, forcing him to see. And when he sees, sticks his tongue out. Okay. And I don't ask me why it's this weird cartoon character stuff. Well, we're all characters, all right? The spiritual realm is a bunch of characters. Here's the Revelation 12 labor pain, baby birth type thing going on there. All right. So I think that might be a little too close to the camera. How are we going to do that? Well, it's just going to have to sit like that, I guess. And maybe I could put the light in a different position. I'm trying to do this so we get almost the same image right here. I might have to put the light on the other side while I read. All right, so there's layout. All right. I don't know if that's going to blind me too. Okay, well, I guess we'll just swing away, huh? Let's see here. Alrighty, and go. Hello, world. My name is Brian Knight. I'm a real live person. Hi. A lot of people call me Big Buddy. All my friends nickname me. Usually your friends nickname you. You don't give yourself your own nickname. So all my friends nickname me Big Buddy. Ooh, almost knocked out the internet there. Because I'm just a friendly guy. Okay? See that face right there? Hi. I might look good, but I'm a tore up individual. My body is shattered. I go through extreme pain all day long. Okay? But I like it. I do it for you guys. All right, so just real quick. reference. Okay. I am your shepherd to guide and shield you. A good shepherd cares about his sheep and understands them very well. My care for you is wonderfully complete. I love you with perfect, unfailing love. I know everything about you, your weaknesses, your limitations, your struggles, your sins, your strengths and abilities. So I'm able to shepherd you exceptionally well. I've designed you to walk through this perilous world with trusting dependence on me. I lovingly go before you and open up the way, carefully preparing the path that you will follow. I lovingly go before you. I open up the way, carefully preparing the path that you will follow. I remove many dangers and obstacles from the road ahead. And I help you handle the difficulties that remain. Even when you walk through the darkest valley, you need not be afraid, for I am close beside you. Aren't I? Am I here? Am I close beside you? Walking around as a man? Let's go back to, rotate that back over to this real quick. Okay, that's me. All right, now back to reading here. Even when you walk through the darkest valley, you need not be afraid, for I am close beside you. Enjoy my nearness and communicate with me. I will guide you carefully through each day and all of your days, for I am your God and forever and ever. Dang shirt. I am your God forever and ever. Hopefully it's showing up there. Angels told me about that birthmark. I didn't know I had that. A stab wound on the side. Yep, still me. Now, let's continue. I will guide you carefully through each of your days, for I am your God forever and ever, and I will be your guide even until the end. The end. I will be your guide even until the end. Where's my little mount? It's doing better, actually, like that. Now, where was I? You guys okay? Nobody having a heart attack out there? Good. Then you truly are my children. You guys are in my presence right now. You understand that, right? You hear my voice. You see my face. I'm a real person. You are in my presence. And in my presence, you can find fullness of joy, perfect peace, and unfailing love. Walk with me along the path of life, enjoying my company each step of the way, because I am always by your side. The joy of my presence is yours for the taking. How bad do you want it? The more you want it, the more you take, the more you get. Because I am always by your side. The joy of my presence is yours for the taking. And I will keep you in perfect peace as you fix your thoughts on me. Stay in communication with me through your spoken words, thoughts, and songs. I told you about the code and the music. It's okay to sing along in the music. Find joy in it. Your sins are forgiven. You can find joy in the music. Okay? I got a lot of hang-ups, folks, here, and I'm trying to relieve you of your hang-ups. Walk with me along the path of life, enjoying my company. Should be enjoying this. I keep you in perfect peace as you fix your thoughts on me. You stay in communication with me through your spoken words and your thoughts and singing in the songs. Thank you for blowing kisses. Thank you. I would show myself I'm not that bad of a looking guy, but I'm shy too, so I don't enjoy doing this part. In fact, here, you've seen enough of my wrinkled, ugly forehead and my messed up face. There we go. Back when I was a little younger looking there. You know what? Never mind. Never mind. Coming back to you. There we go. All right. I will keep you in perfect peace as you fix your thoughts on me. Spend ample time absorbing my word, letting it speak into your heart. This time together, absorb it. Let it speak into your heart, where it changes the way you think and live. That's what I'm trying to do here, is to help you change the way you think and live. Because you got it all wrong. This world has got it all backwards. They got everybody in this mass psychosis. The whole population, the whole society is in one big, huge mass psychosis. Spending ample time with me, absorbing my word, letting it speak into your heart, where it changes the way you think and live now. I bet all you people that are still here, it has changed the way you think and live, haven't I? You're awake in Christ now, aren't you? Boy, you're gung-ho now, aren't you? You see my eyes, you hear my voice, you see my face out by the moon, you recognize me? You should. It's been a long time. I walk around town smiling at people. They don't even recognize me. They have no idea. Well, some people do now. The Word was made flesh, not cloud, not a face by the moon. The Word was made flesh. What does that mean? A man. It's like you, woman, man, you are in the flesh. Spend ample time absorbing my word, absorbing me, absorbing this time together. Let it sink into your heart. I want it in your heart so it will change the way you think and live. Because as you ponder who I really am, my light shines on you. It shines warmly into your mind, helping you live in peace. You guys are living in peace a little bit amongst all this chaos, huh? You see a bigger picture. This little stuff doesn't rattle you when you see a bigger picture, huh? My light shines warmly into your mind, helping you live in my peace. I want you to flourish in my presence. You should be feeling something very special inside. You should be flourishing in my presence. What else do I got here for you? I want you to flourish. I want you to flourish in my presence, like an olive tree flourishing in the house of God. You are now in the house of God. You're flourishing like an olive tree in the house of God. Aren't you? Aren't you? Now, as this sunlight of my presence, this right here, well, here. Now, we're looking at me now. As the sunlight of my presence nourishes you, you are now able to produce abundant fruit in my kingdom. Now you are finally able to produce abundant fruit. You were all wondering, what's this abundant fruit? How are we going to produce it? And how's that all going to work? How are we going to know if we're producing abundant fruit or not? Well, now you know. So now, like an olive tree, you are flourishing in the house of God. The sunlight of my presence is nourishing you, and you are now able to produce abundant fruit in my kingdom, because now you're in my kingdom. You're producing fruit now because you're in my kingdom. Before, you weren't in my kingdom. You were producing. Now you're producing fruit in my kingdom. And the more you trust in my unfailing love, do you hear me? The more you trust in my unfailing love. Remember pulling the shirt open, you see my heart exposed? The more you trust in my unfailing love, the more you will realize how blessed and utterly secure you are. You are. Not if, not maybe, are. The more you trust in me, the more you trust in my love, the more you trust in my unfailing love. It's unfailing. That should reassure you. The more you trust in my unfailing love, the more you will realize how blessed and secure you truly are. I had more for you here. Do we want to do that one? Yeah, here we go. Now, you guys should be finding joy in this. If you're not, maybe you're not trusting enough. You know how hard this is for me to do this? This is not my style. I don't like doing this. I'm working behind the scenes. But it's time that, I lead the charge. You guys are going to be following. Now, you can find joy in the most unexpected places. Like on YouTube, here. You can find joy in the most unexpected places. But this requires effort in searching for the good and refusing to let your natural responses blind you to what is there. Okay? You got to refuse to let your reactions, your natural responses blind you. Okay, because that's what's been happening this whole time, is your natural responses have been blinding you to what is really there. You had no idea this was really there and going on in your skies. You were blinded. You didn't know activity like this could happen in your clouds. Whoops. Reverse there. Bang. Activity like that could happen in your clouds until you saw this channel. And that's where you find the joy in unexpected places. Searching for the good and refusing to let your natural responses, you're looking at the news, you're looking at this, you're looking at your phone, all of that shit blinds you to what is really there. I will help you respond in a supernatural way, giving you eyes that see beyond the obvious and discover treasure hidden in your troubles. Well, now that you know who I am, that I'm here, that you are actually being put to the test, and you are finding treasure in your troubles, we have advanced to a new stage. If you view your troubles as treasures, then you can find joy in the most unexpected places, can't you? It requires effort. The effort is searching for good and refusing to let your natural responses, quit going with your natural responses. Why? Because they blind you to what's there. I will help you respond in a supernatural way, giving you eyes that see beyond the obvious. Well, now you guys have eyes that see beyond the obvious, don't you? Don't you? And if you do, well, then that must mean what I say is true. And if what I am saying is true, and that is part of the truth, then I must be who I say I am. I will help you respond in a supernatural way, not your normal way. You give up all your normal ways of responding now. Just go ahead and throw them all in the trash. Throw them in that backpack and take that backpack off and quit going with your natural responses. Because every time you do it, it blinds you. I want you to respond supernaturally now. Because now you have eyes that see beyond the obvious, and you have the wisdom to discover treasures in your troubles now. Amazing, huh? That's telling you, because of who I am. Okay? No joke. It's real stuff because of who I am, because of what I experienced. Living joyously is a choice. And since you inhabit this sinful, broken, fallen world, you must choose gladness many times daily. Many times daily, huh? The people who are still here listening to me are probably going through this process, and that's why you're here. You're struggling, and you are having to recover many times daily. You must choose gladness many times daily. So when you choose gladness, that's that salvaging your day. That's what we're all about, is turning our day around and salvaging our day. Then we turn around and we help somebody else who's having a bad day. We help them salvage their day with the same tools that I'm teaching you. So living joyously is a choice. You choose gladness many times daily. This is especially true during difficult times. Okay? So when you're having difficult times, you really got to work at choosing gladness many times daily. We are in the salvage industry. We're in the salvage business. If you're not in the salvage business, what are you doing here? Yeah, entertainment? Otherwise, let's buckle up, let's buckle down and get to work and start salvaging our days, helping other people salvage their days. In turn, you start to glow. You feel bright. You emanate my light into other people's lives, helping them salvage their day. They learn that tool, in turn, take it to somebody else. How many people have you just blessed? Think about that. Wrap your brain around that when you do that. You understand me? Real stuff. How do you think of my face shows up at the moon? Because I learned this. Real stuff. Put it to practice if you want joy in your life. Okay. Okay, it's especially true during your difficult times to choose gladness. All right. Now, when something happens that breaks the pattern of comfort and happiness in your life, okay, usually the death of a loved one, financial loss, loss of a job, it's when something happens, it's that one thing that breaks the pattern of comfort and happiness in your life. That's when you know you are being put to the test. That's how you know. If that is not happening to you, I would worry because you're not being put to the test. So that stuff better be happening to you. And you better be thankful for it because that shows that you're being put to the test. Capiche? You understand? When something happens that breaks the pattern of comfort and happiness in your life, know that you are being put to the test. These trials, such trials can both prove your strength and your faith. Okay? As you go through your trials, it's testing your faith. It's proving your strength. Isn't it? Isn't it? Don't your trials test your faith and prove your strength? Because it was designed that way. Again, when something happens that breaks the pattern of comfort and happiness in your life, know then, aha, finally, I am being put to the test. How are you going to react? You going to cry like a little bitch and complain? Or are you going to take it and learn from it and grow? You're going to take your adversity and turn it into a tool for growth. Okay? These trials both prove and strengthen your faith, which is much more precious than gold. Everybody running around buying gold up. What good is gold going to do you when you got a 12-foot tall demon that's about to eat you? Can't buy him off. Here, turn this around a little bit here. Okay? I'm talking spiritual realm. Demon's real. What are these people going to do? Throw gold at the demon? It's not going to work. Demon's going to be afraid of you. Imagine that. Demon, the word sounds scary, but they're going to be afraid of you if you put your trust in me. These trials prove and strengthen your faith, which is much more precious than gold. I am training you to consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kinds. Okay? When you get those trials coming at you, I know it's hard, you're gritting your teeth, and I hate this shit. Try to consider it pure joy. I know it's hard. That's the spiritual battle that I am training you for. I'm training you to consider it joy, to consider it pure joy, not just any joy, but pure joy whenever you face trials of many kinds. Consider this. I made the agonizing choice to endure the cross for the joy set before me. The eternal pleasure of bringing my followers, that's you guys, to glory. That's the joy that's set before me, is the eternal pleasure of bringing my followers to glory. Pretty cool, huh? That's you guys. You guys get to go to glory. You guys get to go to glory. You might as well start to rejoice now. No matter what happens, you get to go to glory. Go ahead, jump up and down, rejoice, dance, sing, do whatever. Might seem crazy in these wild times, but you are to find joy in your adversity. Because you know you're about to finish your race. You were a contestant in the race the whole time. And you found out. Now here you are with me, doing the real deal. Doing the real deal. Pretty cool, huh? What else do I have for you? Oh, we can do that. Yeah, okay. Hey, pretty cool, huh? The real thing. Whether you believe it or not does not change the fact of who I am. I just showed you my side. Did we get it? Did I get it in the shot there? Make sure you guys understand. You see that live while I'm sitting here. That's me. Nobody else has got that birthmark with 3 faces in it, okay? Nobody. The whole spiritual realm recognizes that mark. They all know who I am. Every animal on the face of this planet recognizes me too. All the birds sing to me. I got cats call my name. It's like, what the heck is going on? But all the animals and all the other spiritual entities in the universe know me. They understand me. The only people that don't are the people of Earth. In my presence, right here and now, you can find fullness of joy, perfect peace, and unfailing love. I want you to walk along the path of life with me. Walk with me along the path of life, enjoying my company each step of the way. Not dreading it or fearing it. No, I'm a person with feelings. Walk with me along the path of life, enjoying my company each step of the way. Even though they're difficult steps, try to enjoy it with me, okay? We're learning here. And because I am always by your side, the joy of my presence is yours for the taking, okay? It's yours for the taking. I give it freely. I will keep you in my perfect peace as you fix your thoughts on me. Stay in communication with me through your spoken words, your thoughts, and your songs. Spend ample time absorbing my word. Here we go. Don't think of prayer as a chore, okay? You're just communicating with me. It's not a chore. It's not like this, oh, I have to pray right now. No, I pray when I feel the need to. That's what it's really there for. So don't think of prayer as a chore. Instead, view it as communicating with the one you adore. You're just talking to me. Just talk to me. It doesn't have to be all formalities. Just talk to me. It's important. It's for your good. It's for your good when you talk to me, okay? I hear you in the spiritual realm. Heaven speaks down to me. I don't get to hear you personally right next to me, but I do hear from heaven. When you pray, I hear from heaven. So don't think of your prayer as a chore. View it as you're really communicating with me, the one you adore. You're communicating with me out by the moon, okay, in the spiritual realm. Then I hear from heaven right here, and I hear your prayers. So don't think of them as a chore. Delight yourself in me, and this will draw you irresistibly into communion with me. So quit viewing prayers as a chore. View it as communicating with the one you love. Delight yourself in communicating with me, and that will draw you irresistibly into communion with me. And remember all that I am to you, all that I have done for you. I love you with perfect, everlasting love. And I take great delight in you. If you're still here at this show and you have given me your time, I take great delight in you. You guys recognize my face? That one's getting old now. Here, let's go back to this one right here. Okay. Just so you'll see the resemblance again, just to kind of remind you guys. Doesn't that look like me? I had more for you. Where was it here? So when you get to this delighting in communicating with me, knowing now that it really works, okay, how it works, I hear your prayers, your prayers go to heaven, I hear from heaven, I hear your prayers, okay? This will draw you irresistibly into communion with me. And then remember all that I am to you, all that I have done for you. Know that I love you with perfect, everlasting love. You see what I went through and all the torture to prove to you I love you, right? Then know that I take great delight in you. Let my tenderness embrace you, convincing you that you are indeed my beloved. Okay? Understand, let my tenderness embrace you. When my tenderness fully embraces you, you will understand, you'll be convinced that you are indeed my beloved. And when you feel that loving embrace and you know you are indeed my beloved, then rejoice in the one who will never let you go. I will never let you go. Often, the easiest way to start talking with me is to thank me for being your Savior, Redeemer, and friend. You can also give thanks for the things that are happening in your life, things that are happening in your family, the things that are happening in your church, and beyond. Okay? These grateful prayers connect you with me and ease the way into other prayers. Okay? Grateful prayers really do a lot of good for your mental well-being. Okay? Sometimes we get complacent, all right? We get spoiled, we get stuck in a rut, and things lose their luster, right? Their value or whatever. It's not until you lose something that you appreciate it, right? So what we're trying to do is enjoy each moment. Be in the moment. Be thankful for what you have, because then you're not so comparing yourself with others. That's a bad habit that we have to break. We compare ourselves with that guy's got a better house, a better car, and then you get jealous. We got to get rid of that jealousy. Quit envying other people's stuff. All right, we're gonna just be thankful for what we have. Thankful prayers are very important. So when you start off with some thankful prayers before asking, it's good. You know, like when you meet a friend, instead of, hey, can you take me, 200 miles overnight and then bring me back tomorrow? Before you ask somebody of that favor, you might want to say, hey, how you doing today? How's things going? Oh, I heard you're in a lot of pain. Offer you some aspirin, blah, blah, blah. And, I was thinking of in the next couple of days, I want to go out of town. Would you like to come with me and stay overnight? First you were thanking, then you asked. It's just common courtesy, really. So, when doing your prayers, it's not a chore. Recognize some of the things in your life that you're truly thankful for. Because when you do, you hear yourself say that you're thankful for it, and that reestablishes good thinking skills, positive thinking skills in your own mind. Okay? Boy, I got so much. Where are we on time? Okay. We're at 3 hours. Wow. You guys are still here. The same 20. It's going to be 21 of us. No, there's lots of people on the replay still, too. Oh, excuse me. I got so much for you guys, I don't know where to go next. Here we go. So, you saw enough of my ugly mug, right, for one night. I'm kind of shy anyway. So keep your eyes on me. I am at your right hand, close by your side, aren't I? Aren't I? I am here physically on this planet. I am real close. I got you by your right hand. I am close by your side. I am so close I'm on this planet. That's how close I am. Okay? This is the most reliable source of joy, is knowing now. Knowing that I am always near. Hold on to that. Right there. Know I am always near. Okay? Even in your troubles, know that I am always near. Okay? This is your most reliable source of joy. You're going to see all kinds of craziness in this world. It's going to steal you and rob you of your joy. And your only reliable source of joy is knowing, not guessing, not hoping anymore. See this face? Fucking know now. Pardon my French, but those words are adjectives. They're a bunch of letters put together. They could be used to hurt people, or they could be used as an adjective. I use words sometimes as an adjective for inflection. So you know I mean business. The most reliable source of your joy is now knowing that I am here, that I am with you, for you. I'm your savior, I'm your shepherd, I'm your best friend. You have meaning to your life now, don't you? Yeah, you do. It's because you're knowing that I am here now. So, when you realize the most reliable source of joy is knowing that I am always near, seek to strengthen your awareness of my presence. You can strengthen it even more. It is possible than knowing. You just keep remembering every part of your day. Oh, dang, he's here. Oh, dang, he showed his face last night. Oh, he's here. He's a real man. You seek to strengthen your awareness of my presence so you can enjoy me in your moments and feel more secure. You want to feel more secure and enjoy me in your moments? Know that I'm always near. Seek to strengthen your awareness of my presence. My mere presence, I'm here, should mean volumes. Okay. I got the best one right. Where to go? Seek to strengthen your awareness of my presence so you can enjoy more of your moments and feel more secure. Communicating with me in silent prayers, in little whispers, in spoken words, or in shouts of praise is the best way to stay attentive to me. I want you to be real with me in your prayers. Okay? That's we're doing work, mental stability work with your prayers. So be real with me in your prayers. How are we to address the issue if you won't be real with me? I already know what the issue is. You just got to be real about it, because then you finally admit that you have the issue. The most reliable source. Ow. Okay. I want you to be real with me in your prayers. Instead of worrying or obsessing about things that turn your thoughts towards me, instead of worrying or obsessing about things, turn those thoughts towards me. Talk with me about whatever is on your mind, and I will show you my way to handle the person or the situation that concerns you. Because it's always a person and it's always a situation, isn't it? Always a person, always a situation, isn't it? Yeah, so talk with me about what is on your mind, and I will show you my way to handle the person or the situation. It's important that you study and meditate on Scripture, knowing that it's real now and how it works. It's important that you get some Scripture and let it saturate into your heart and your mind, changing the way you think. Okay? This is how you even grow more awareness, through the Scriptures. Okay? Not just seeing my face and going, wow, oh my God, that is him. Oh my God. Go into the Scriptures and study more. Okay? You will feel better about yourself when you do this. Okay? Instead of worrying and obsessing, turn your thoughts to me. Tell me what's on your mind. I'll show you my way to handle the situation. Meditate on Scripture. Let it saturate into your heart. Let it change the way you think. Let it permeate your prayers with biblical concepts and content now. As you stay in close communication with me, the joy of my presence is yours. It is. The joy of my presence is yours. I give it freely. Okay. Okay, here, let's go. Pull up some more imagery. Dang, you guys looked at my face for a long time. Now look at that one. Tell me, what do you think? Darn, it's a darn coincidence if I got Marian angels and all these demons attacking me and I got all this weird faces in the clouds following me around. It's a darn coincidence that this face showing up looks like me, huh? What a coincidence. I think you guys are starting to figure out we are in the end days. And I'm back. Okay? I am back. I am here. I am a real person. All the signs are there. I don't see anybody even trying to attempt to address the truth. I am the truth. I am telling you the truth. It's been an underlying warning throughout this whole channel. From the moment I began this channel, I warn you about the earthquakes. I warn you about the sun. I warn you about the weather. I warn you about the spiritual events. And this whole time, there has been an underlying warning, an unspoken warning. And it will remain unspoken. Because I think you guys understand what the warning is. If you've been around at this channel for a minute or two, and you've seen all the other warnings that I provide on subjects that nobody really covers, okay? Or, they avoid. It's because, you're a spiritual being having a human experience. And this is the testing ground. What's the meaning of life? The age-old question, what's the meaning of life? What's the meaning of life? What's the meaning of life? God, it should have been pretty blatantly obvious. It's a test of character. What's the meaning of life? It's a test of character. It's a test of your faith. How well are you going to do? You going to sit there and cry and whine because you didn't get your way? Or are you going to learn to love and accept and help people? You going to show compassion? Do you have consideration for others? There we go. Lately, I've been noticing across society is this lack of consideration for others. It's me, 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 all the time, all about me, all about this. Nah. Everybody is so self-absorbed that they don't have consideration for others anymore. I have 2 shattered hips. It's excruciatingly painful to walk. So when I walk through the store with my cane and I got my little gait going, my limp with my 1 foot drag limp, why do you feel the need to step out in front of me and cause me to stop, change direction, have to do all this maneuvering and change course for you? Can't you see it's excruciatingly painful for me? But nope. No, quite the opposite. It's cut the slow guy off. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cut him. Oh, stop right in front of him. Make him stop in his tracks. You know how painful it is to stop my momentum? To put the brakes on hurts too. So let's practice showing some consideration for others. And maybe it will become infectious and start rubbing off on other people. And they'll go, wow, that dude just held the door open for me. Or they smiled at me. You did something. You did something. Get out there and do something. We are running out of time. Get as many spiritual achievements under your belt while you can. Go out there and start performing and quit second guessing and doubting. You know now. You see that face? The only reason why I'm showing you my face is so you will know. So you will know. It's not about me. It's not about my ego and my pride. This is for you. So you will know. And so you will have that true peace that transcends all your adversity. You know you're being tested. You can find joy in the test now. And I will be grading you at the end, so give it your best shot. Come on, you might get an A. You might wow some people, okay? Let's get everybody on board. Every person that you blesses you too, okay? That's how this works. It's a win, 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 win. You just keep winning all the way till the final victory. How bad do you want it? Endure. Help your friends. Help your family. Show some compassion, consideration for others. You guys already do. I know you do. But I want you to feel my passion and know that's what we're doing here. Okay? That's what it's all about. You have graduated to the final class here. Okay? You're with the teacher now. We are doing the real thing. That's really my face out by the moon. Isn't it? Yeah. Yes, indeedy. And there's my face in the clouds, and it's so cool that you guys get to be caught up with me in the clouds. We get to meet in the air of cyberspace and do this wonderful process of being this family. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you know now that your Father loves you. And sometimes I have to discipline, sometimes I have to instruct, okay? But it's only for your benefit, for your growth. So lean into me and trust me and grow. Use your foundation now and grow and spread my light to others. Be that light yourself and shine into others' lives. I love you. I miss you. And until my next show, I will be back. I am already back. Aren't I? Aren't I? Because when you say yes, I am back, that blesses you and something magical happens in your life. I love you. I miss you. Until my next show, I will be back. I am already back. Can't you tell?